Hey guys, Ariel Patrice here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you for staying. So today's video is going to be, how do you pay for a PhD? And before we start, I guess I should say I'm going to get into things such as loans, private pay, scholarships, and grants. Those are the 4 different ways that you can pay. And so I'll explain them all, then I'll kind of explain what I'm doing. And so the first one, loans. Loans are money that you get from the government, and this is money that you will eventually have to pay back. They are loaning you money to go to school and eventually expecting that you're going to pay them back. Typically with loans, you pay them back roughly about 6 months after you graduate. Things can change with that, like if you don't have a job or something like that, they can work with you a little bit. And so for loans, you can take out as much as you need, more than you need, a little bit less than what you feel like you need. It really is just dependent on how much they offer you. And so for instance, at my school, I take about 4 classes a semester. And so my bill each semester comes out to roughly about $4,000 to $4,500 a semester. And so that is with the whole year, meaning spring, fall, and summer. That comes out to about anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 a year. And so with loans, they will loan you that money to pay for school now, so you don't have to worry about it, and then you pay it back afterwards when you're finished with school. Next would be grants. And so grants are also money given from the government, but these are things that you do not have to pay back. Grants are just that money from the government. You don't apply for anything. They just give it to you based on need. If they feel like you really need it, then they will give you those grants. They come out less frequently than loans do. They will give almost anybody loans because that's something that they plan on you paying back. But grants is a different story, because when they give that out, it's just out on them. That's not something you have to pay back. So it's really beautiful for us to have as students, because we're trying to not pay like $100,000 back. So that's a grant. The next is scholarships. And so with scholarships, those look a little bit different everywhere. So there are different websites where you can apply for different scholarships, and you can write essays, you can make posters, you can be involved in different groups, and then you're applying for a scholarship, and you just have a waiting game, really. And then there's also scholarships that your particular school has. And so in that way, as a PhD student, you will apply by sending in a proposal letter, maybe sending in a research letter, basically telling what you want to do with the field, why you're in the program, and all of that. And then it's a waiting game as well. And then you find out if you got your scholarship. And so with grants can be anywhere from $100 to maybe, I'm not sure what the max is on grants. I know I got a grant in my PhD program, and it was $124. So it wasn't on the high end, it was on the very much lower end. And then with scholarships can be anywhere from $100 to $35,000, maybe sometimes even more than that. It really just depends on what you're doing for it. For me, last semester, I got a scholarship from my school for $1,000. And what I did was I sent in a proposal statement and a research statement kind of telling what I wanted to do in the field and why I was here. And so that was good for me. And then the last payment is private pay. And so a lot of people aren't fortunate, but if you are fortunate enough to pay for school out of pocket, that means you're not taking out any loans, you're not applying for any scholarships, and you're not getting any grants because you are financially able to pay for school yourself without it being a burden to you. So if you can do that, that is completely awesome. Now, the hard thing about PhDs, what I've found is it is extremely hard to find scholarships or outside grants. There are outside ones as well. And so for me, I've looked up scholarships all over the place outside of the school that I'm at. And the only ones I can find are for the dissertation stage. And the dissertation stage is at the very end of the program. That's usually what you do your last year or your second to last year if you do an internship after that. And I'm in my first year, going into my second year. I can't find anything where I am able to apply for a scholarship and get it because I'm not in my dissertation stage. And so unfortunately, in my boat, I'm having to take out loans. Now, for my undergrad, I am debt-free. For my master's program, I am debt-free. But as of now, for this year that I just finished and the loans that I am taking out for my second year, I am about $15,000 in debt right now. And I really want to end it there. I don't want to get any loans for my third or fourth year. I can only hope that I can apply for scholarships and be granted a scholarship to help pay for at least part or all of my dissertation journey. And with these loans that I have, these $15,000 loans, by the time I graduate, that's another thing. If you take out loans, you have interest after you graduate. So if I don't pay any interest while I'm in school, which would be like $100 or $200 a month the entire time I'm in school, if I don't do that, I would say by the time I graduate, after 4 years, let's say like a 4-year time span, that $15,000 is probably going to build up to roughly about $23,000 to $25,000 by the time it's time for me to graduate, because that's 4 years of that $15,000 accruing interest the entire time. And I know that sounds really confusing. You're like, wait, what? If you haven't ever done it before. And so that's why I really, really, really didn't want to have loans going into the program. But unfortunately, that's all I have. And luckily, this last semester, I did get a $1,000 scholarship, and I've applied for another one. So I can only hope that I can get that. So then that takes my $400 to $4,500 semester to $300 to $3,500 a semester, which is still a lot, but that's where my loans come in. And so whatever the scholarships don't pay for, that's where my loans will pay for it. And now all I can do is just try and save, because I do work, try and save to the best of my ability. And hopefully that can, if I don't get scholarships later, hopefully that can pay for my school in my third and my fourth years, because I really don't want to take out more loans. It's high enough for me already. And so yeah, I hope that kind of explains how you can pay for school. There's 4 different options. So just to reiterate, you have private pay, where you do it yourself. You have loans, that's money that you get from the government that they expect you to pay back starting at least 6 months after you've graduated. You have grants, which is also money that you get from the government, but this is money you do not have to pay back, but they do not come as often as loans do. And scholarships. Scholarships are something that you have to apply for. and that can be anywhere from $100,000 to $35,000 plus. And so your best bet, obviously, to help you pay for school are grants and scholarships. But unfortunately, a lot of us have student loans because I don't know why. I'm just going to assume none of us get super lucky where we get to get full rides as a PhD unless you're at very specific schools, and they just don't have a lot out there as far as scholarships go for PhD students unless you're in your dissertation stage. And so yeah, that's where we're at right now. It kind of sucks sometimes, but I'm making do. I have a purpose, I have a goal, and you know what? If this is what it has to take, then this is what it has to take. I know that I'm not going to let money be a factor for me to reach my ultimate goal and what I want to do. I have to remember why I decided to do a PhD in the first place. So yeah, guys, that is all I have. If you have any questions, or if you feel like I didn't answer a question very well, go ahead and just shoot me a comment. I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. Sometimes in these videos I get carried away. I might not have answered everything perfectly, so I'm sorry for that, but I can always answer it later. And so if you like this video and you want to see more, go ahead and like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, it is such a joy to have y'all here with me. I really do appreciate every single one of you. So until next time, bye.